So, decided to do a little bankroll challenge. You can see 3,000 to 100K. We're gonna ladder. We're gonna ladder up. We start at 3,000, so we're gonna start at 20 cent, 50 cent, a dollar. We're gonna be playing the eight-handed ante with four straddle games. I think that these games on WPT are very good. Very much worth playing, for sure. So this is going to be the ladder, right? So when we hit 4,000, we can add. So we're gonna play four tables always. We're gonna keep the session short, an hour, roughly. You know, 45 minutes to an hour and a half, because they don't have a sit out option. So I can't sit out for a round. So I can't, you can't go to the bathroom, you can't go to a drink, none of that. So you sit down, play 45 minutes to an hour and a half, close it all out, and start over, and just rinse and repeat. So when we hit 4,000, one of the four tables can be from the stake higher. At 20 buy-ins, we take a single table and replace it with the larger stake. And if we, five buy-ins puts us back at 3,000. So when we hit our 3,000, then we will, which I forgot to fill these yellow, we will drop that table and no longer use it. Same thing here. Once we move up, right, at 6,000, we move up to this stake indefinitely, or not indefinitely, but when our bankroll hits 6,000, we move up here. When we hit 8,000, we add a single 1, 2, 4 table. And as soon as we hit 6,000 again, we remove that single table, and we do not play that table anymore, and we only play 50 cent 1, 2. I hope that makes sense. It's really to help move it along, right? Because we want this to have, so this side here, let's assume a very modest, maybe it's not modest, maybe it's really good, but let's just assume a 5 big blind win rate. It's going to take us roughly 60,000 hands to move up to this one. Then it'll be 75,000 hands, then 100,000, then 225, and then 200,000 to get up to here. Which once you get to here, these games don't run all the time, so it's going to be increasingly difficult once we hit around 25,000 for a bankroll. It's going to be hard to find games. We're going to be playing a lot of 1, 2, 4. We're going to be playing a lot of six-handed games, so the challenge might change slightly once we get up to this level. But these stakes here, these games, run all day, every day. 24 hours a day, you will always find these. And I'm also not locked into Hold'em. I can play PLO or Hold'em. But I'm trying to stay with the eight-handed ante games for Hold'em. For a PLO, I prefer the six-handed. But I will play the eight-handed if I don't, if there's no tables, because I want to be playing four tables at all times. So just to give you an idea, right, if you're looking at this and considering making something happen like this, to make this jump, right, now this is assuming a pure win rate of 5 big blinds per 100 hands, right? So let's pull up variance calculator, and we'll say 5 big blinds per 100. We're playing full ring, so do that. And then how many hands was it? 58,000. So then we'll say 60,000. Okay. So this shows our EV around 29 buy-ins. So this is a pure a pure run, right? They're just nice and easy. This is the average. As you can see, it can be anywhere in between there. So this is just a rough guesstimate, right? It's gonna take around 200 hours of game time at 268 hands per hour, which is my average, which is 4 tables playing full ring, which means in total we're gonna be around 2,400 hours. If we play 10 hours a week, right? If we play 10 hours a week, it's gonna take almost 5 years to complete this challenge. I'm putting this out there so that if you're starting on a journey like this, you need to understand the longevity of the game. And if you're doing 30 hours a week, it'll take a year and a half. Now, obviously, this doesn't include run good or run bad, right? This is the average. Like I said, this is this. Now, let's say you follow this blue line and you run good. That means we're going to hit, we need to be around 30. So right here, 24,000 hands in, and you're going to be moving up to the next stake. It's going to cut that time in half, roughly. You're going to be around 100 hours. And realistically, you could sun run the whole thing and be done in 8 months. And you could be at this 124, 248 level. You could be somewhere around 30 grand in 6 months if you run good. It's entirely possible. And then if you follow the rules, you could move down and up. It depends, but there's a lot that's going to go into it. And then I have here another sheet that shows like unrealistic win rates. So we're talking like 15 big blinds per 100 at $1. And also all of this is calculated based on the straddle, not on the actual big blinds, because we're buying in 200 big blinds deep. So instead of trying to figure everything at the normal big blind, we're going to figure everything at the straddle. Just for simplicity's sake, it makes it a lot easier. And, it's easier to calculate based off 100 straddles is the buy-in. So with unrealistic numbers, right? 15 big blinds per 100, 12 big blinds per 100, 10 big blinds per 100 at basically 400, no limit. You're going to be an absolute fucking crusher at 10 big blinds per 100, right? It's still going to take you a year at 40 hours a week to complete the challenge. So I just want to put this into perspective of, what you're really looking at here as far as time and commitment. This is not a 3,000 to 10K is not a, it's not something that's going to happen quick. I'm not going to cash out. There's going to be no cash outs or anything like that. Although I might change that down the road, depending, just because I don't know where it's going to go as far as the laws go, and I don't want my money to get locked up in there on their site. So when I hit 10, I'm going to keep track of, I'm still going to keep track of the transactions, but I'm going to start pulling money out of the online account and only keep, what my what my average is. Let's say on an average week, I'm up or down, 6 buy-ins is my average. Then I'm going to keep, probably 8 buy-ins on the site at any given time. And I won't keep any more than that. For that reason that I don't want to allow, I don't want to take the risk of having the money on there. But this is just a basic outline. I wanted to make a video about it before I start posting the sessions. I've already recorded some. I started 2 weeks ago, I think. Something like that. Which these are the numbers from my current sessions. I played 10 hours. 2,600 hands, that's where this number comes from. You can see G37 divided by G36. So that gives me that. Oh, no, don't change that. And then made 500, big blinds $1, 19 big blinds per 100. So obviously I'm running well. Which is crazy because it doesn't feel like I'm running well. When you see the sessions, you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of the stuff that it's crazy. Some of the shit that these people do at these stakes. Like, I think that this is vastly under what my true win rate is going to be, considering what people like cold call with and stuff. But we're trying to keep it modest here and realistic. But yeah, I'm going to I'll upload my sessions. I'm going to hold them for a week and then upload them the week after. So like after I upload this video, next week, I'll start uploading the previous weeks, right? So today's the 1st. So on the 8th, I will upload the 25th. And then the 9th, I'll upload the 26th, the 27th, 28th, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to be 2 weeks behind, basically. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not just online. I also play live as well. I play 1, 3, 2, 5, 5, 10, Hold'em, PLO, mixed games. Where I am, there's probably 10 different poker rooms within a 3-hour drive, maybe 12, which obviously should tell you that I'm in Florida. So I won't always be playing online, but the money that's on there it's not irrelevant, but it doesn't really matter that much to me. Like, it's not going to make or break me or anything like that. So I'm going to play online when I can. I usually play in the mornings. I own a business, so I get up early in the morning. I do a lot of paperwork, accounting, stuff like that. I do that in the mornings, and then I go to work. So normally, I'll do all my accounting shit, all my paperwork, emails, all that stuff between 4:30 and 5:30. Then I play a quick 45-minute session or so, maybe do a review of a previous session if I had some iffy spots or some questionable hands that I'm, curious about. I'll do a review instead of playing a session. Then I go, do my normal day. And when I'm done that night, I play another session that night. So I'm averaging probably 2 hours a day on average. I played last week. I didn't have a whole lot of work to do, so I played a lot of live poker. But I'll keep it updated. But I just wanted to post a separate video with the ladder in it, showing specifically, what the challenge is going to be, what it entails, when we move up, when we move down, the rules, etc., etc. For hand reviews, we're going to use Munker. As you know from my channel, that's what I use. So, we'll use that to review. We'll explore like opening ranges, how they differ when there's an ante and a straddle on, because it is vastly different. You know, the games are the opening ranges, 3-bet ranges, everything is significantly different than a standard game. Obviously, you need to, with an ante, every hand, you really need to be opening up quite a bit, a lot more than you think. I can promise you that. So we'll go into that. We'll have some strategy videos. We'll have some hand reviews, both on not just my hands, but also occasionally my opponent's hands. Like if I get to see a showdown, or they also have this feature where you can pay to show the cards, which I do occasionally when it's when it's an unknown and I don't know anything about them and they take a weird line and I'm curious about what they had. You know, it's one straddle or one big blind, depending on what stake you play, which I think is bullshit that it's different prices for different stakes, but it is what it is. You know, so you can pay and it'll show all the cards from everyone, and it's beneficial. So like if he takes a weird line, I can see his hand and say, oh, well, he must think like XYZ, because why else would you make that play? So let's review it and see, you know, and then we can explore that in Munker and see what the solver play would be, and then also like what kind of adjustments we can make to exploit that type of player, because this is the WPT Gold is what I'll be playing on, and you can it's very close to live poker. A lot of the players that play on there are, you know, it's very close to playing like a 1-2 or a 1-3 live game when you play on that site. So the games are very good. It's definitely worth playing for sure. You do have to go through some hoops. You know, you have to verify your ID. If you want your deposits increased, you have to verify income, so that, you know, and it at first you may think, who are you to ask me, you know, but it's actually a good thing because they're protecting you from yourself, if that makes sense. And then, you know, for cash outs, if you cash out over a certain amount, I'm not going to say what the amount is, but if you cash out over a certain amount, then they have to 1099 you, which is, you know, it's normal. It's no different than playing in a live poker room, although the number is different. You know, a live poker room is around 10,000. They have to, you know, record it, quote unquote, and turn it into the IRS because you took more than a certain amount. You know, it's no different. It's very, very similar. So I think it's a good look. It's a good site. So far, you know, I've deposited and cashed out. You know, there's it's definitely there, and at some point, I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say that I might increase the bankroll to speed it up, but at the same time, I don't know. I probably won't. Because I mean, if that means looking at this, we're like 500 hours. You know, that's it. That's a year at 10 hours a week. That's a long time to get to 2-4, to get to 1-2-4. But I don't know. I probably won't. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to you know, put the ladder out there before I start uploading session videos, and yeah, I'll see you at the tables, and we'll get after it.